We are live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live. And this evening here on The Huddle, I have a question for you. Are you a small YouTuber who's creating content on YouTube who's struggling to grow? You're not getting enough views to your satisfaction and based on what you're looking for the videos to perform, you're not getting any feedback or traction, and you're just frustrated as a small YouTube creator and you're searching for answers on how to be able to be relevant on YouTube. Well, tonight I want to share with you 5 important tips on how you can start growing as a small YouTube creator who works a 9 to 5 job but creates content after work. And we're starting right now. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to The Huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong, where it's our goals to help working class content creators like yourself to grow your channel, get more views, and to make money online. And as we said tonight, we're going to be talking about 5 tips on helping you as a small YouTube creator with a YouTube channel that's competing against large, established creators on YouTube and the platform. And we're going to share these 5 tips that's going to inspire you, encourage you to have a content strategy to grow on your channel. So if that's you tonight, let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live in the chat. Watching the replay, give me a hashtag Team Replay in the comments section. So without further ado, hey, let's get into the content on helping small YouTube channels grow on YouTube. And if you've been creating content for a little bit now, you know that YouTube has really been trying to communicate more and more on the platform that they are trying to help new YouTube channels, small YouTube creators to be able to grow more on YouTube, especially if you're a working class content creator who works a 9 to 5 job. Hey, we all see it on our YouTube homepage where we just seem to see based on our viewing history and watch pattern, where there seems to be just channel after channel, just large established YouTube channels that have over 10,000 views, 50,000 views, 100,000 views. And you say, where are the small YouTube creators? Where are the new YouTube creators? As Mr. Beast said in an interview to Neil Mohan, of the CEO of YouTube, where is the next Mr. Beast? Where is the next Logan Paul? What is YouTube doing to try to help small YouTubers grow on YouTube so that they can be established? And, and that's a very valid and important question that we as small YouTube channels have to be able to have the answers to, so we can stay motivated, so we don't get discouraged, and so we don't burn out. Now, am I saying that should we depend solely 100% on the YouTube algorithm and hope our videos get seen? No, I'm not saying that. But I think we do need to be aware of how YouTube is trying to do their part on helping us as content creators who have small channels who've yet to get into the partnership program, who've yet to cross certain threshold of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, who've yet to be able to find the right audience that our content can get in front of so that people can start watching our content more and more and end up watching a series of playlists that we have. So we have to do our part, just as also being aware of what YouTube has put in place for us as YouTube content creators so we don't get discouraged. One of the latest features that YouTube has rolled out in 2026 is the YouTube collab feature, collaborations. YouTube collaborations, when I first started on YouTube a little over, 6 years ago, right during around the pandemic, when people were all shut down, and we couldn't go to work, we couldn't go back to school, we couldn't connect with one another, we couldn't have relationship with people outside of our homes. YouTube collaborations became a very big thing on the platform, where other creators begin to reach out to new creators who are in their similar niche that they were creating content, and people begin to build online relationships. You begin to see live streaming with multiple creators on one live streaming, collaborating with one another or working with one another, creating videos through putting the videos together through either Google Drive or OneDrive, and putting videos together through YouTube collaborations. And over a period of time, that kind of faded away as the world went back to business as usual, as we got past the pandemic. But YouTube said, we need to roll out the YouTube collab feature so that people who collaborate together through this feature could be able to get more discoverability, to get in front of a new audience that's not familiar with them. And so if you collaborate with another content creator, whoever is the prime person of the video, they can then send a link to said other creator. And then once you accept that link, you're able to then do a collaboration where both your channels are working in concert together, where there's information about their channel, there's information about your channel, there's both subscribe buttons there, and it allows you as a content creator to get in front of another audience of set creator who has similar interests and similar goals, and has a similar niche of audience people that can learn and discover more about you. Vice versa, the same for that person. Let's take it a step further. Maybe you are a small YouTuber, content creator, where you want to be able to collaborate not just with other individuals in your niche audience and your, let's say, your subscriber count. So maybe you're anywhere between 250 to about 2,500, and you're collaborating with individuals like that. But hey, maybe you want to take a swing at the plate and hit a home run and start collaborating with much larger established YouTubers, the Nick Nimmons, if you will, the Roberto Blanks, or the Nick Johnsons, or the Sean Cannells, and you want to be able to collaborate with much larger YouTubers. Well, it doesn't happen a whole lot, but it's all things are possible if you put the work in and collaborate. Well, when collaborations used to happen back then, they didn't have the YouTube collab feature. And so you had to kind of depend upon that other large established creator who was willing to pass on information about your channel through word of mouth to get you in an audience, if you will, with their audience. Well, now with the YouTube collab feature, if you are fortunate enough to collaborate with a Sean Cannell, if you're an Omar Takori, then hey, with the YouTube collab feature, if they accept that link that you send them, or if you accept the link that they send you, now you're getting in front of their audience. You're getting the potential of being able to be discovered more by a new set of eyes of audience of people to learn more about you as a small YouTube creator. And so this is just one of the ways you can be able to begin to grow as a small YouTuber, as having a small YouTube channel that is growing. Though you're working a 9-to-5 job, you can be able to begin to grow. I think about my early days on the Huddle, and how I was fortunate enough to be able to collaborate with a Dan Courier from the channel formerly called The Creators Fundamental, who has a silver play button, over 100,000 subscribers. I was fortunate enough to collaborate with individuals like Jeff Barch from Story Greenlight. I was fortunate enough, which to this day is probably one of my highlights as a new creator growing on the platform with less than 250 subscribers, to be able to collaborate with a Benji Travis from Benji Man TV and who's had other YouTube channels collaborating and working in partnership with Sean Cannell, with Think Media, with video influencers. He's the co-author of YouTube Secrets, which I think their book is on the New York bestsellers and probably on their second or third edition. And here you have me as a small creator collaborating with someone over 100,000 subscribers and over 1 million views on 2 different channels. Man, think about it. If the YouTube collab feature would have been out, look at the potential. But now we have it today as working class content creators who have a small channel that we're growing. Though we're working a 9-to-5 job, and though we have family and responsibilities and other things that are important in our life, the YouTube collab feature is a great way that if you learn to utilize and have a strategy, if collaborations is something that you're looking to do with other content creators, you can grow your channel. Now, I need to put this caveat here. The YouTube collab feature shouldn't be used from the perspective of what we think we can get out of it. I don't subscribe to that mentality or perspective. I believe when I collaborate with another content creator, whether if it's a small YouTuber who has a similar niche and audience, or similar like subscribers, or if they are on the platform size of a Benji Travis, I'm doing it from the approach of how can I add value to him or her and their audience? What can I bring to the table that can be able to add value through that collaboration with me? And if you approach it from that standpoint, the YouTube collab feature becomes a great asset to you as a small YouTube creator, as a working class content creator, because you're using it from the perspective of how you can be able to add value to said creator and to their audience. That when they're done collaborating with you, that it is, you leave such an impact through that collaboration that down the line, they're going to want to collaborate with you more, because you're not doing it from the perspective of what you can get from it, but how you can be able to benefit them, and you can reap the rewards of that collaboration through what they give to you in return. The other caveat I want to put on the table about the YouTube collaboration feature is you got to know how to reach out and collaborate the right way. You got to reach out and collaborate the right way with another content creator on YouTube or some other platform like a TikTok or Instagram. You don't go into a person's DM and start spamming them and say, hey, can we collaborate together? Can we collaborate together? Can we do a live stream together? Can you become on my guest? You have all these subscribers. You have all this big audience. No, you don't spam the person, but you build the relationship with the creator. They get to know you, you get to know them. Hey, take the time to find out, other than being on YouTube, what other platforms are they on? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on TikTok? Are they on Instagram? Are they on X, formerly known as Twitter? Begin to build an online relationship with them. Do they have a website? Do they provide you the opportunity that maybe you can do a discovery call for 15 to 20 minutes? Let them get to know who you are and learn more about your channel and about the goals of your channel and the purpose of your channel and what you're trying to do, and vice versa. You get to know about them. So that way, when you build a genuine online connection with them, the YouTube collaboration of you both working together clicks and works seamlessly. So that's just one great way as a small YouTube creator, you can be able to grow on YouTube. A second way that you can be able to start growing your YouTube channel is through live streaming, but in particular, dual live streaming. YouTube has really gotten behind this whole thing about dual live streaming of doing vertical and horizontal together. So whereas instead of you just live streaming traditionally horizontally and just having an audience of viewers watching you live anywhere, depending on the size of your channel and your audience, and you just getting that consistent 25 to 50 views after the stream is ended. Well, the vertical live stream feed gives you now the opportunity to get in front of new eyes of people who don't know about your channel. And so as they're scrolling on the vertical feed through the YouTube shorts, they can begin to say, who is this person? What is this channel is about? Let me take this a look. Now, is everyone going to be a great fit through the vertical feed of your channel? Probably not. I've been dual live streaming now for a while, and I've been fortunate enough to come across a few individuals that were interested in what the type of content that I'm making. But for the most part, they're just individuals just passing by, like what people do in the vertical live stream feed or the shorts feed. They just scroll and they keep it moving. And you got to be okay with that. I'm okay with that. Will you occasionally get a subscriber or two if they are genuinely interested in what your message that you're saying, and if you're adding value to them? Yeah, you may be fortunate to get a subscriber or two from there. But most importantly, understanding dual live stream purpose is to provide you the platform for more discoverability. So if you just been just strictly horizontally live streaming and never tried dual live streaming, hey, give it a shot. If you're trying to get new eyes on your YouTube channel as a small YouTuber, it's an opportunity. You try it for a while with the understanding, the caveat that you understand that the people who you may be coming across may not always fit to be a part of your niche audience. But any good business owner, any good entrepreneur who has a business wants to be able to get their name and their business, their product and service out there, just to be able to say, hey, just want to introduce myself, what my brand is about and what we're doing here, and just to be able to shake some hands. Dual live streaming vertically and horizontally is just shaking some hands and just keeping the message out there of what you're passionate about, so you don't get discouraged, so you don't get frustrated and feeling like you're just going through the motions and you're on the hamster wheel of content creation, and it's just little to no views, no feedback, and you feel like you're just not getting any traction. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this discussion tonight on how to grow your small YouTube channel through these 5 tips, do me a favor, click the like button for me, especially those in the vertical feed who are just passing by and checking me out. Give me that thumbs up to let me know, hey, you stopped in. Just give me a thumbs up. Let me know you stopped in. And share this on your favorite social media platform and encourage another content creator who's working 9 to 5. As Dolly Parton says, working 9 to 5. Okay, I'm gonna let that go. Hey, we got a couple of individuals that are dropping in the chat. I definitely see OG regular in the chat, Mr. James Bush from Prayer Request Live. He's here tonight. And if anyone else is in the chat, hey, let me know where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live. And so we talked about YouTube collaborations. We talked about dual live streaming. Here's another, it's not a feature, but it is a format that I think we as small YouTube content creators, we need to have a vision for. We need to have a vision for. If James, you're in the chat, and so many others who are watching me, you'll remember back in the days when television first came on the scene, and it was primarily black and white TV. And if you had a black and white TV, you remember when the antennas the rabbit ear antennas were not working properly. So you put a hanger on the antenna. And when the knob broke off, you got you a pair of pliers to turn the channel. Boy, you got upset if you couldn't find those pliers. If you could turn the channel to your favorite TV program was coming on because someone broke the knob on the TV. Well, let's fast forward now today. HD TVs, streaming services, your smart TV, you can watch, yes, you can watch your Netflix, you can watch your HBO Max, but you also have YouTube TV. YouTube TV. And if you've been keeping up on some of the news about what the CEO of YouTube has been saying, YouTube now has surpassed Netflix in the streaming services. They've surpassed Netflix. But you say, why is this important to me as a small YouTube content creator? Well, as technology evolves, we've gone from 760 to now 1080 to now we're doing it in 4K. James, could you imagine if you are streaming through 4K either on your phone, iPhone? I'm more pro iPhone. Okay. You can't get me to an Apple or a Mac, but I'm more pro iPhone. Or you have a 4K digital camera, DSLR or mirrorless, and Prayer Request Live is being live streamed in 4K. And someone's watching you. Some of your people are watching you on their 30-inch, their 50-inch television. We don't have to sit in front of a laptop to watch prayer requests. They don't have to sit on their phone and scroll to watch Prayer Request Live. They're watching you on their HD TV, their smart TV. And more people in today's technology of live stream, because YouTube now has surpassed Netflix, this is becoming more the predominant format that people want to watch content from their televisions. And so as a small content creator on YouTube who's trying to grow your channel, you got to begin to have a vision shift on how you're trying to present your brand message. You got to have a vision shift on how you're presenting your content. And so you may not have the latest Sony camera or Canon camera in 4K yet, but you may have your iPhone or a mobile phone that is in 4K and shows shifting and maybe rearranging some things where you could start doing your live streaming in 4K or recording your videos in 4K. And not just one video, but putting a series of a playlist together where audience members will want to start watching your content in 4K on HD TV. And what this will do is begin to position you to be able to get more views. This will begin to position you to grow your channel. This will position you to be able to start making money online as a working class content creator who has a small and growing YouTube channel. YouTube TV. It's becoming more and more relevant. Again, I go back to the example I gave you. People were watching TVs on black and whites. I'll take it a step further. I remember when I first heard AM radio, listening to AM radio. I hadn't even been exposed as a young child to FM radio when I first stumbled across 1010 Win AM radio to learn about sports, news, and the weather by sitting in the kitchen with my grandmother. Fast forward today, there's very little FM or AM radio. You're now listening to it on Sirius Radio or some other streaming music platform in your car or on your desktop, laptop. As technology changes and evolves, you as a content creator have to change and evolve as you grow your YouTube channel. Hey, if this is making sense, hashtag make a change. Hashtag make a change in the live for me. If you're watching the replay, on the comment section, hashtag making a change. Okay, so we talked about YouTube collabs. We've talked about dual live streams. We talked about YouTube TV. It's not a feature, but again, a perspective in how you're creating content. In the past, traditionally, the old YouTube way was to just, make long form videos, horizontal long form videos, and post videos on YouTube. Do live streams. Of course, YouTube Shorts came on the scene, and it's now, if you look at on your homepage, it's more the predominant part of your home feed, your homepage of your YouTube or YouTube Shorts. Now here comes vertical live stream. And yes, there's been the argument about, hey, can't YouTube Shorts hurt my channel, hurt my long form content? Yeah, that argument has been predominantly going on. But it was interesting when I heard the CEO, Neil Mohan, when he was posed with that question. His response was, I want you to check this out. Lean in for me. Those of you who are watching me live or the replay. Neil Mohan said that YouTube, their creators are building a stage and a platform for us as the creators. And the way they see YouTube Shorts and horizontal videos and live streaming and vertical live streaming, podcasting, can't forget podcasting, they're providing it from a multi-format approach. When you look at today's YouTube, content creation is now being presented to us in a multi-format approach. And when you look at the successful YouTube channels that are growing, that have large subscribers counts and views, it's because they have some form of a multi-format approach. They're not just doing horizontal videos. They're not just doing live streams. They're doing podcasts. They're doing YouTube Shorts. There's a multi-format strategy and approach that they're using. When it comes to us as working class content creators who have a small channel, yes, we have limited time because of work, family, and other personal responsibilities, and you feel like you're just too exhausted to try to create a second channel where you do your YouTube live stream and then you take the clips. You got to take the time and maybe get Opus or Nexus clips or do it yourself, God forbid, and then upload it to a second channel for clips. That takes a lot of time. But what if you had a multi-format approach where you live stream 3 to 5 days a week? Well, what happens when you end the live stream? You just move on to the next? Or you put time aside, just like if you were going to batch out time for multiple videos, you batch out time where you can take 1 or 2 live streams from the week and you start breaking them down into horizontal long videos, 5 to 10 minutes, 2 or 3. Well, guess what? That's new content. So if you had 5 points in the live stream, you have potentially 5 points that you can pull from horizontal videos. Or you use something like a Nexus clip or an Opus, and you end up getting vertical shorts that you can end up posting on the YouTube channel, using it as a form of like a teaser or a trailer to whet the appetite. So if an individual does want to watch your long form content, they can be pointed to the long form. But as you are building an audience of those watching the shorts, you don't try to force them over to watch your long form content. Appreciate the audience that you have through the shorts and the audience that you have through the live stream and grow them over time. If you have that type of multi-format approach and strategy, you're going to grow your channel. Though you are a small YouTube creator, you're going to grow your channel. The thing is, you got to be willing to, let me make sure okay, there we go. You got to be willing to experiment. I think one of my biggest hurdles over the last couple of years was the willingness to experiment more. Because one, as you, I'm not going to blame it on age, but as you start to get older in life, you want consistency. You want things to flow and function a certain way that once you're comfortable with it, any type of disruption of that format and that flow can upset the apple cart for you. And so when you talk about experimenting and doing something new, sometimes content creators won't be willing to do that. We're just used to doing certain things a certain way. But if the goal is to grow your channel and reach more of an audience, guess what? You have to have a multi-format approach. Let me give my Christian content creators a jewel, a gem on multi-format approach. When you have a multi-format approach, you can get the message of the gospel out to God's people in a more effective way. You say, how is that possible? Well, let's look at the first four books of the New Testament. I'll say five. The first five books of the New Testament: Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, the book of Acts. Matthew was written by Matthew, the apostle. The perspective of it was written from explaining the kingdom of God primarily to the Jewish audience. Mark was written primarily as Jesus. Let me go back. Matthew presents Jesus as the Lord, the King of Kings, the perspective of the kingdom of God. Mark gives us the perspective of Jesus as the servant man of God, written primarily to the Roman audience. Luke as the perfect man of God, primarily written to the Greek audience, and John written to the world, for here where we get the focus of, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life, written to the world. And the book of Acts, the birth of the church, written by Luke. You see these different perspectives on how the gospel is being presented to a dying and lost world. What if you had a multi-format approach? That's for free for you. Not going to pass an offering plate tonight. You can give your offering on Sunday. Give your offering on Sunday. What if you had a multi-format approach on sharing your content, your Christian content? Your channel will start growing. Your audience will find you when you have a multi-format approach. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this episode of The Huddle, click that like button for me. Share this on your favorite social media platform. And if you are new to The Huddle and it's your desire as a working class content creator to grow your channel, get more views, and make money online, hey, subscribe to the channel for me and click the alert notification button. That'll let you know when we go live or when we press record for our next upload. Want to say good evening to Professor James Hicks in the building tonight. See you on Facebook doing a lot of traveling and meeting and greeting with family members. So getting that break and spending some quality time with the family. So I see you on Facebook, sir. I see you. So we talked about multi-format approach. My last point, learn to leverage AI technology. There's a lot of noise. I'm quite sure Mr. Hicks can be able to put some more wisdom to this. And I'm just scratching the surface, but learn to leverage AI technology in your content creation, because there's a lot of noise where people just, yes, I understand the approach that the fear that people have. They say, hey, look, using AI technology. It's replacing people's jobs. It's making eliminating opportunities for people. Yeah, there's one side of the coin, but a lot of that I'm learning and still understanding is people are saying a lot of this stuff because of a lack of understanding and knowledge of how AI works in their own career and workplace, and they are saying it also not having an understanding of how it could work in their everyday life. It does work in your everyday life. You just turn on the television and you will see a Chase commercial that's teaching you about going and doing your banking, but at the same time you're trying to depend on AI to help you with your banking when you need AI as a tool and human involvement to help you to do that. You see it in the Chase commercials. You see it in the Gemini commercials where the guy is trying to hang up a picture on the wall and he's trying to go step by step and he thinks he's on a certain steps, and then when he reaches out to Gemini and say, "What step am I on?" and he finds out he's not even on the step that he thought he was. And the young lady who ends up having a hole in the wall and she gets frustrated and she's trying to depend on Gemini. It's being presented to us in our everyday life. Well, guess what? As a content creator, there are certain AI tools that are for free that you just got to spend the time to have being willing to learn about these things, how to use them, so that way you can make better content. You're struggling with thumbnails? Hey, begin to, collaborate with other content creators who may be making thumbnails with AI, with Chat GPT or Claude or one of 10 software where you can make better thumbnails. There are individuals in the chat like Tech Troublemaker, Professor James Hicks in the chat. You need help with learning how to make better scripts or better run a show for your live stream. Hey, start using and learning how to make not better prompts, but the correct prompts to be able to correct how to present and make a decent run a show for your live stream. Learn to leverage AI technology. As you learn to leverage it, as you begin to understand the workings and the features and the benefits of it, it's going to be able to aid you in how to make better content. Better content posted on YouTube provides you the potential for more impressions. More impressions gives you the potential for more views with higher CTR and click through rates, and more potential to grow on YouTube. But you got to be willing to leverage it, not see it from the perspective that this is a disadvantage or constantly listening to the noise. Professor James Hicks always talks about rising above the noise. Are you stuck in the caverns of content creation, of noise about the negative stuff about AI? Now, yes, there's some bad actors who make AI slop, but you shouldn't be down there in the caverns of content creation always hearing about AI slop. You should be up on the mountain, climbing the mountain, so that you can be able to leverage AI in your content creation and growing your channel. Are you a content creator who's just creating content and your voice only echoes on YouTube? Or are you a content creator, despite the amount of subscribers, despite the amount of views, and despite the amount of the size of the audience you have, the audience that you do have, are you just echoing to them? Or are you saying some stuff with a voice of substance? I'll let you think about that for a minute. That wasn't even in the run of show. But if you're trying to grow on YouTube, you got to be willing to leverage AI technology. You've leveraged other forms of technology when it was rolled out. There was a time when I first started doing some form of content creation, and when I was first starting to write blogs on WordPress, what was the predominant social media platform that people were on the most and trying to get their WordPress content creation in front of more people? It was Periscope. People were doing like large, if you will, type of live streams on Periscope. But guess what happened? Periscope got replaced with Twitter. Twitter got replaced. X gonna give them to you. Now people got a problem with X gonna give them to you because X is giving it to you, and you ain't getting nothing back. I'm sorry, squirrel. I got lost. But you hear my point here. Learn to leverage AI learn to leverage AI technology in growing your YouTube channel as a small content creator. So in summary, I'm getting tongue tied here. Let me take a little sip of tea here. That's better. That's better. Hey, hashtag team live in the chat. If you're watching me live, hashtag team replay in the comment section. So in summary, to grow your YouTube channel, especially as a small content creator who's working a 9-to-5 job, family, and other important things that you got to balance in this content creation process, take advantage of YouTube Collabs. Explore and try dual live streaming. Begin to educate yourself and begin to leverage your YouTube equipment and gear so you can be able to start doing content creation in 4K, even if it's on your phone, so your content is presented on YouTube TV. YouTube television live streaming is surpassed Netflix. And there are conversations about not just programs, but there are individuals in the chat. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but it at least encourages me when I have an individual like Tech Troublemaker in the chat live or James Hicks in the chat live who is making and pumping out content on an episodic level where they have things like Team No Sleep, they have the Digital Collective, you have the Tech Troublemaker Show, and you can watch this not just on the desktop, but you can watch it on your HD television, on your 60-inch. That lets me know that if individuals are coming to listen to the voice that I have that has substance, not echoing, that lets me know that you can do the same thing and position your content where it's now being created and produced in 4K on HD television. Having a multi-format approach, perspective, so you can grow your channel, and then finally leveraging AI technology. You do these 5 things, you get consistent, have a content strategy, a content workflow. Over time, your channel is going to grow. You won't have an issue about not being consistent. You won't have an issue about uploading consistently and burnout because you will have such a focus. Your audience, you don't have to go looking for them. Your audience will start coming to look for you. Hey, you've gotten great value out of this episode tonight of The Huddle. Click that like button for me. Hit that thumbs up. Share this on your favorite social media platform. Whether if you're watching me on the vertical live feed or horizontal, hit that subscribe button for me. Click the alert notification button. That's the content tonight. That's the content. I pray that you've gotten value out of what we've had to say tonight. And give me your feedback. I see a lot of you in the chat. Forgive me if I haven't had an opportunity to pull up a lot of the comments during the live, but I was just so locked in and focused tonight that I just wanted to get the content out. And I'll definitely acknowledge your chats, um, rather directly through your DMs, or in the comment section. Um, but we just want to get the content out tonight and be able to share it, not from a voice of echoing, but from a voice of substance tonight. So that's the content. We're going to bring this train into the station. That's my notes. Where are we at? That's the style. That's the media. So want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out your schedule to be here on the huddle with me. And we will be back Sunday night at 8 p.m. I hope to see you then. Hey, enjoy your Memorial weekend and spend some quality time with the family. Spend some quality time getting yourself some rest and relaxation, and then position yourself to make some great content that adds value to your audience. God bless.